Yo, welcome to Fire Podcast episode. I don't know what episode. One of those episodes.
It's just gonna be that.
Oh shit.
Yo.
Hey, what up?
Not much here. Just politicking.
Just politicking. Scheming one day at a time.
What you got for me today?
Yo, I wanted to talk some numbers for you, man, because this shit is driving me nuts. I'm a numbers guy. It's driving me crazy. What's 12 times 4?
48.
How many weeks we have in the year?
52.
That math don't math.
I know. You divide 52 by 4, it's 13. So we should
Mm.
technically have 13 months in the year.
Where's that month? My thing is like, yo, my check is divided by 52 into 52 weeks evenly.
You get paid weekly?
Bro. Nah, but
okay.
that's how, everything's calculated, divided by 52, divided by 26.
Yeah, 26.
Yada. 26
bi-weekly.
bi-weeks. Yeah, and it's like, wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. I was thinking maybe because of the leap year, maybe because, whatever, but that's a whole month, bro.
Yeah. It's a whole 4 weeks that is unaccounted for. So what I think happens in our Gregorian calendar, or whatever calendar we use, I forget the name. I think some months, because, one month has 31, one month has 30. Yep. February has 28, 27, or is it 29? 28, 29?
28, 29.
Depending on leap year. So like those numbers shift around month to month, and eventually it adds up to that 1 month that we're missing.
The one missing month. Yeah,
basically, because we're backwards here in America. I guess where we're potting from. We're backwards.
So backwards.
Even with the metric system, we don't use kilometers. We use miles. We use Fahrenheit instead of
Celsius.
Exactly.
Why?
I don't know. You gotta ask the forefathers of this country what the fuck they were doing when they were coming up with this shit. Instead of like, oh, let's just continue what everybody else is doing. We're gonna just remix it.
This is America.
Yeah, I don't know. I start going down the rabbit hole though. We start like digging information, like why do we do things like this? Because we come from different countries where things are a bit different. And just
that math don't math though.
Yeah,
that math don't math.
I don't know.
365.4, I guess. I think 0.3 days. I don't know. We should just do it like the Ethiopians, yo. They got it right.
Yeah, I think so. They knew what they were doing. They're very similar to the Egyptian calendar too, which is dope.
So, they have 13 months, right?
I think so.
13 months. Holy crap!
Yeah.
With the 13, so evenly distributed months. Then each one would have 4 weeks. Exactly.
Yeah. Can I read you something that I kind of Googled here?
Yeah.
So Ethiopian calendar consists of 12 months of 30 days each, plus a 13 month called Pagume, which has 5 days in common years and 6 days in leap years. This 13 months serves to reconcile the 365 solar year with the calendar, right? So and then historical and religious significance, the 13-month structure is often linked to biblical references, such as the Book of Enoch, which is an ancient Jewish text that was adopted into the Ethiopian Orthodox Church canon. And it just discusses how the solar calendar has 364 days, needing an extra period to align the calendar with a solar year. So the inclusion of the 13th month helps adjust this discrepancy.
So, and that's per year or every 365 years?
Per year, because it's 364 days. Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was like every 365 years we have to catch up. I'm like, damn, like they knew that much? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know if at some point in human consciousness, if we don't do anything, like, we don't have to go crazy about farming because we're good. We don't have to go crazy about building because everybody got a house. That we suddenly start like philosophying whatever and make calendars and make sundials and make stuff that It's like based off of the alignment of the stars. Like, how is it? Do you have to be super bored,
I think
or
very observant. I think
like you have to have a
very
perfect
observant
combination of shit?
of just like observing what's going on around you and figuring out how it can help you survive. I think that's how like a lot of ancient people probably went about things when they were like calculating shit. I don't know.
I was gonna ask, yo, how come we don't do that now? But we don't pay attention to shit to help us survive. Like most people pay attention to their phones.
Yeah, I
You know
mean,
what I mean?
there's scientists out there doing the work,
Yeah,
but
but that's the thing. There's like too many people, too many scientists out there doing the work. The rest of us are just like, eh,
yeah,
we'll follow their
whatever.
lead.
Yeah, like when a news report comes out or whatever after the fact, like being on your phone too long because it's cancer or something.
While you're staring at your phone.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yo, it's crazy.
so some additional stuff which I found interesting. It says the Ethiopian calendar is roughly 7 to 8 years behind the Gregorian calendar due to differing calculations in the annunciation date of the birth of Jesus Christ. So this
So
unique calendrical system reflects the country's rich history and maintains its important cultural, religious, and agricultural practices in Ethiopia today.
so 2020 hasn't happened yet in Ethiopia?
Apparently, they're still like in 2016 or something.
Pre-COVID?
I mean, COVID still happened, but yeah, it's their date system is a bit different. That's crazy though. Like to think that,
That's pretty badass.
yeah,
But they're in a whole different year.
yeah, it's interesting how different parts of the world live, man. Like going down this rabbit hole, I start to look into like Asian culture.
Mm,
You know, like the Asian, a lot of so like Egyptians wrote on papyrus, right, like
yeah,
paper,
yeah.
and then the Asians actually kind of, or the Chinese, because don't want to offend anybody. They I think were one of the first to also create like paper texture for them to write on scrolls and stuff like that.
Made
So
out of
just
rice.
yeah, exactly. So like it's
The rice
interesting
paper.
to see like how different cultures learn to like save their history or their knowledge. Some did like Egyptian scrolls, they did their scrolls, like some cave people did walls or whatever. So it's just
Wall art,
interesting.
hieroglyphics.
It's interesting like how humans learn and try to like save some of that stuff and pass it down to future generations, and eventually that all coming like accumulated to becoming the iPhone.
Right.
If you think about it in human history, like all of that had to happen so that the
For the
iPhone could
iPhone
be,
to come out.
yeah. So
Like,
and now
that's
we have the
crazy.
internet to share information, and it's dope.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
This is crazy. But to me, is I feel like there should be a study done on what sparks people to make these changes, to look for these innovations. Because if we can understand that, then we can push that to the limit. You know what I mean? We don't have to wait 50 years for the next quantum leap in our technology. We could just wait 6 months because we're pushing it. We know, we understand what drives us to do this and do that, you know?
I think we have to like harvest that in schools early on, like that creative side of people, instead of trying to build
Workers.
laborers and workers. We need to like
Yeah.
create more creative people that could do some cool stuff, but the government is trying to control people. So like flying cars that run on water, that has been created, but the blueprint
Censored.
or the government buys it so that nobody can recreate it because they have all the blueprints and stuff like that. So yeah, it's tough because not everything they buy, what's it called? Um,
Trade what? Like
yeah,
trademark or patents?
yeah. What all the patents they buy, they don't always
Yeah.
put into production. Some of them is to
No.
withhold from putting them into production. Same like cures for diseases and stuff like that. Same thing with technology. Like there's a lot of stuff out there
Oh yeah.
that will never probably see the light of day unless like a patent revolution happens. So like I'm interested in that.
I recently actually heard about patents and stuff where apparently you're right. There was a bunch of patents that were bought by the U.S. government that never saw the light of day. No development, just it stayed as you have a patent and nobody else can do this
Mm-hmm.
because they don't have the patent for it. They'll be sued. But
Mm-hmm.
apparently, there's also a label or some sort of classification on certain patents that are deemed risk to national security. or something like that.
That makes
Not
sense.
necessarily national security. I think those are the actual words, but there's an actual term. And what's interesting was that one of the concepts was for a car that I think it was on like 20 gallons or something like that. It went across the country
20 gallons of what?
of gasoline. It was something to do with the combustion rate. Like
That's great.
it produced more energy than your standard vehicle because he did something to the vehicle. And it was powered by like one tank of gas, and it was like super efficient.
Yeah.
Ridiculously efficient. And this was in the 70s.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was like the 70s show. I feel like touched upon some of this stuff too.
I don't know about the 70s show, but I know in the 70s, like there were a lot of people that were inventing shit in their backyards.
Yeah.
And in their garages and stuff like that, especially when it comes to mechanics. Like everybody was big into mechanics apparently in the 70s. I don't know what happened. But
the boom.
There was also some patents, I think, from Nikola Tesla. With the frequency and the free energy frequency stuff. Those patents have never seen the light of day. And
that was his main thing, was trying to create like free energy for the world.
Yeah. And he was saying that it had something to do with, or research had something to do with the technology he believed that Egyptians and stuff used. So it's crazy to me that the government would do that, but I actually understand why. It's capitalism is the best way for me to put it. They don't want, and I gotta right, Thomas Edison. Him and Tesla, not good friends. But they purposely would take these patents and not let them see the light of day because it would cost the oil companies money. Because if you have a flying car that runs on something that's not oil or gas or whatever, they're losing money. You lose money on taxes because now you don't need to tax people on the roads because they're using the sky. You lose money. Like there's so much loss for them to do it that they rather you not do it.
Now you're going down the rabbit hole. Yep.
And the craziest part is that most of these super cool technology and whatever has already been invented, has already been patented, has already been shelved.
Yep.
This is insane. You know, a lot of people don't realize that electric cars are not new.
No.
Electric cars were invented before gas-powered cars. There is a picture of in 1905, a woman in New York City charging her car.
And now they even charge you to charge your car.
Now they charge you to charge your car. Yeah.
Like it's not free. Like you gotta pay to charge your car. That's just crazy.
You know why solar panels aren't super advanced?
Same reason.
How are you going to charge people for using the sun? You can't control that, so they can't charge you, so they don't let the technology out. It makes sense. It's not justifiable, but it makes sense. It's like, oh well, you are a business. You are protecting your asset.
It's just horrible though that these businesses are what's pretty much destroying the world and creating all this climate change
and stopping it from progressing. Like
exactly.
It's crazy to me.
If we don't figure it out, either the world gonna take us out, or someone's gonna invent something by mistake that might take us out. Like they also what is it? Not mass fusion, nuclear energy, or they cleaned it up. So
cold fusion, you talking about?
Like because nuclear energy back in the day when Einstein created it was very unstable. Which created the atomic bomb. You know,
a lot of radiation, and now it's radiation for the hydrogen bomb.
But the main purpose he was trying to do was to also create energy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we've learned how to harness nuclear energy without all that radiation and stuff. We do it nowadays, but not a lot of people know about it. So, yeah, it's just interesting.
The crazy stuff we don't actually know, like as a majority of people, it kind of solidifies the whole catastrophic event theory that every 150, 200,000 years, whatever, something catastrophic happens to this planet, wipes out most of us, and the ones that are left restart. But the reason why we don't restart with an iPhone is because we, for the majority of people, don't know how shit actually works. So the ones that survive don't know shit. You struggle. Now you got to go back to planting a seed, getting a cow to plow the ground for you. You know, back to day one. Day one shit. It makes a sound theory if you think about it, because we're living proof of it right now. Can the average American, given full access and authority and power, run one city? Doesn't even have to be a major city. Just run one city. What do I mean by that? Can you supply power to this city? Can you control the waste? Can you control the water? Can you get food? For a group. You're not alone.
And you got housing help too.
And housing and, well, yeah, housing and everything, all that. Can you and a group of your friends go out into the woods and make a small town?
Right.
Fully functional. Right. No. So it's like, if something catastrophic were to happen, right, to this planet, the ones that survive the first wave of whatever the hell happened will start eating each other. Yeah. And then the ones that survive after that are the ones that are going to recreate the planet.
Yeah. And I think we could figure it out, but it's going to take time.
Yeah. Of course we can. But all the ideas that me and you have because of all the technology that we have been privy to, right? How can we translate those ideas to our children without showing them the tools? How can you talk to your child about the internet without showing them the iPhone? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, how you can talk to them all day about it, but at the end of the day, when you're old, they got to build it. Where are they going to pull that information from? Like, how to do it. So anyways, just wanted to touch on that because it brings it right back. It's like, yo, we really don't know how to survive without this machine we call the government, but we don't like the government. Like that, as if the government were to shut down, like truly shut down, 90% of us are fucked.
Yeah. Especially people that never been to like the farms and stuff like that. Countryside. Yeah. A lot of people scared of roaches and spiders and bugs and shit. They wouldn't survive a day outside in the jungle type of shit. So I definitely get it.
The farmers, they'd be all right. Yeah. The farmers, shit, they wouldn't even notice.
They kill everything with their bare hands.
Fuck yeah. They'd be all right. Yeah. We'd be running to them. Like, yo, guys, please feed us. How do you kill this cow? Yeah. Like, how do you kill this cow? How do you process it and all that stuff?
I would wish, or I would hope, if stuff like that happens, that people just maybe grow some vegetation and just live off that. Like, you don't even have to eat animals to survive. Just eat nuts and shit. Like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of humans in the world depend on eating flesh, like animal flesh, to survive. I myself do as well, but it is possible for humans to survive without eating flesh. So,
absolutely.
If we were to just grow vegetation and eat it, just like other big animals do, like giraffes are huge, elephants are huge, and they just eat grass. So we could do the same thing. So
there's vegetarians, and then there's people on keto, they only eat meat.
Yeah, pescatarians and all that other stuff.
You know, it's pretty interesting how as a species we could go from one to the other and it doesn't really.
Yeah, we have special teeth.
Yeah.
Or omnivores. Sorry.
Omnivores?
Yeah.
Could a lion eat vegetables?
I don't think so. Their teeth are not meant for eating vegetables. Their teeth are meant for eating flesh.
I'm pretty sure though they could chow down on a carrot with their teeth and shit. Like it's not a problem.
I've never seen it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know if they can actually do that.
I really don't think so. I don't think they can. Like they'll be forced. Like if you force feed them a carrot, they might like try to chew on it, but I don't think they really can chew. Like they don't have the
mandibles and stuff
that crush mush stuff. That their teeth are like all sharp. I feel like I don't know.
Yeah, but all the shit that they eat, I mean, they eat bone and everything. I'm pretty sure they scarf down a head of freaking broccoli and they don't even need to chew it. You know what I mean? They'd be all right. What I'm thinking is like the stomach. Like, can they even digest that shit?
Probably not. Some animals can't
Yeah,
digest
that's
certain
interesting.
shit. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's weird to think about it, how we're all different like that.
But would he eat a cooked animal?
Who, me or them?
No, a lion, a lion. Man, I'm talking about lion.
Um, I don't know. I feel like they give them raw meat at the
With the zoos and stuff.
everywhere. Yeah, I don't know if they would take to eating cooked food. Can you imagine
So like,
chefing it up for a lion?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what happens if you were to, like, I'm assuming not all spices are good for like a lion. So, but let's just keep it as salt and pepper, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you imagine, you know, what's that dude? What's that dude?
I know what you're
The
talking about.
chef
I forgot his
with
name,
the
but
salt and the
yeah,
glasses.
Sobe, I think they call
Salt
him.
Bay
I think that's what they call him. That's not really his name, but I think they call him Sobe. That's a little bullshit.
with the curved knife and everything.
Yeah,
That dude. What if he slap and cooks up a T-bone steak for a lion? Like, would the animal eat a cooked piece of meat? I don't see why not.
yeah. It might not be good for their stomach, but I'm not sure. Or it might
How
like
is it?
nutrition.
Wait a minute. Now I'm bugging because I'm thinking of crazy questions. Like, how is it that we could eat cooked meat, but raw meat will kill us?
The bacteria and stuff. Our stomachs have evolved to
Not eat raw
not.
meat?
Yeah, basically. If we would, I think you might have to be like a baby and like train your body to eat raw meat to like when you're older, not die from eating raw meat.
We
I think
can't
it's
process raw meat. Like if it was clean, like no salmonella on it, da da da. You know, sprinkle some lemon on it, whatever, bro. Just don't cook it.
yeah.
Can't eat that.
We could eat it. I just don't know how you're gonna feel afterwards. I've never really like you know how
I'm
you
not trying
eat
to try
cold
that shit.
eat cold cuts, which is like
Yeah, yeah,
turkey.
yeah. That's
So
uncooked. Well, no,
it's
that's steamed
cooked, but
cooked,
it's cooked. It's cold by the time you eat it.
but it's steam cooked. It's already like
Yeah,
hit a certain temperature and then it's
kill the
cooled and all that.
bacteria and all
Yeah.
that. So I don't know. Like we could do it. It just
You first, nigga. I'm not doing that shit.
yeah, I don't really like cold meat.
It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, like some people like cold chicken and shit like that. I'm not one of those people. Like
Listen,
in
you
their
gotta if you
salad
give
and
me like
shit.
a cold grilled chicken, you it better be spiced to the max and wrapped up in a burrito or something.
You don't really taste it.
You don't really taste that shit. Like, come on, come on, dogs.
Speaking of Soul Bay, you know his restaurants are mad expensive.
I did not know Salt Bay had a restaurant.
Yeah, he has some. He has one here in New York. I think it's called Nurse something. It's like NRST. Like I don't know, but it's like hundreds of dollars just to get like a regular steak. Maybe thousands. Cause he think he's hot shit and that meat's imported and all that.
Does he
Eight
make
hundred
it?
eight
Like, is he
hundred and
there
fifty dollars. I think it'd be sometimes.
for
Oh,
for what?
like
For
that.
what,
Them big that big steak that he cook and throws his salt on it.
bro?
Yeah,
Bruh,
man.
come on, dog.
That's the life of the wealthy right there.
Yeah, I don't even know
That's
what to
some
say about
people's
that. Like I
rent
said,
right there.
$850
That was my rent in Grand
for
Island.
meat. Meat. Do I get some fries on the side at least?
Is that dinosaur meat? Like, what kind of meat
Hey,
is that?
this shit better not make me hungry for a month. Then
Yeah,
it'll be worth it. Like if you had one meal and that meal filled you up for an entire month for whatever reason.
that's some snake shit. Eat a whole
Mm.
antelope would be good for months. Imagine a snake. A snake. You
The
know
fuck?
when snake eat the big ass animals, like the turd that snake produces afterwards. Like, how
Yo,
big is that shit
I've
afterwards?
wondered. I've wondered, bro. Because sometimes I'll be like, yo, there's no way this snake could eat this shit. And he eats it. He breaks his
Yeah,
own jaw, eats his own bitch whole.
somehow
Some of
digests it.
them, huh?
Somehow digests it.
Somehow, some even throw it back up because it's
Yeah,
too big and then eat it again. It's like, all
yeah,
right.
or choke and die on it.
But I've never seen a snake take a shit.
Yeah, I know, right? Big ass pellet, shit pellet.
I've never seen a snake take a shit. Like, I'm pretty sure they do,
Yeah.
but I've
Um,
never seen them take a shit. I'm like, that's interesting. I feel like the more they eat, the more they just shed and grow. They just convert their food into like scales and shit.
yeah.
I mean, that's not very scientific, but
snakes are interesting.
This whole world is interesting. Yeah. So we got to keep asking questions. Keep asking questions.
That's a fact. Hey, this is Jace. Thank you for watching the Fire Conversation podcast. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe, and we'll bring you new episodes every week.